Okay, the internal structure of the brain. We're looking at, starting here in this color-coded photo from the lab book. Down here we have the medulla oblongata. This is the pons. Moving up in this area is the midbrain. The purple and blue area is the diencephalon, which we're going to learn the different parts of. You have the cerebrum and your cerebellum hanging off the back. Now we're looking at the internal structure, a cross-section of the brain. So starting here, we have the corpus callosum. This is the thick white commissural fibers that are going to connect the right and left hemispheres of the cerebrum together so they can communicate. In this opening here would be located your lateral ventricle. Then we have this strip of white connective tissue, which is the fornix. This is another commissural fiber. We have the thalamus with a little spot in the middle called the intermediate mass of the thalamus. Coming down from the thalamus, this triangular structure is the hypothalamus. The epithalamus would be above, but is not easily seen in this picture. Okay. And hanging off the epithalamus, we have a little gland called the pineal gland. From the hypothalamus, we have extending down this little stringy branching thing called the infundibulum. It connects the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland. And right in front of the pituitary gland would be the cross-section of the optic chiasm. And below it would be your mammillary bodies, which control your reflexes for feeding and swallowing. Okay. From the third ventricle, we have lateral, then the third ventricle, the fluid is going to flow down to the fourth ventricle, which is this enlarged area right near the cerebellum and the pons. And it will travel through a little canal called the cerebral aqueduct to get down to that fourth ventricle. On the back of the brainstem, we have three bumps. We have the pineal gland, which controls day-night rhythm. Then we have the superior colliculi and the inferior colliculi. These two, and there's two on each halves, make up a group of four called the corpora quadrigemina. Your superior colliculi is going to control auditory reflexes, and the inferior will control other reflexes. Okay, now if you look at the cerebellum, inside we have white matter. The white matter forms this branching pattern, which is called the arbor vitae. And right on the outside of the white matter is the gray matter, which is the cerebellar cortex. Now looking at the next figure, it's the same structure. It's just a figure of a model, much bigger. So quickly we'll run through the parts. The corpus callosum. This is where the third ventricle is located. Here's your fornix. This strip of white is red is the epithalamus, ending in the pineal gland. Here is your thalamus with the intermediate mass. The triangular structure is the hypothalamus with the pituitary gland hanging off. The third ventricle lives in the thalamus and will connect to the fourth ventricle by the cerebral aqueduct. We have on the back of the brainstem the pineal gland, the superior colliculi, the inferior colliculi. On the front of the brainstem, we are going to have the optic chiasm, the pituitary gland, and the mammillary bodies. And then if you look in the cerebellum, we have the nice arbor vitae, which means tree of life, the white matter, and then the gray matter around it. And this last little picture is just to show you a cross-section of the internal structure of the cerebrum, which is also made up of gray matter, forming the cerebral cortex, that's the most external, and the white matter that will be internal. And we have the internal lobe called the insula.